Hey all, so I wanted to help advertise Bill Deyo, aka Night Owl's book. Now, if you don't already know about this guy, he is not your average genealogist. He was at one point a president of the Virginia Genealogical Society, which is pretty high up there. So, fair to say he knows a lot about genealogy and what's considered a primary source. He is also, besides being a genealogist, he is also part of the Potawatomi Tribal Historian Emeritus. My copy soon, and once I read it, I will share my information with you guys. It is called Pocahontas and KA-OKEE. Sorry if I mispronounced the name, and their early descendants and Indian relatives. Portrait of Pocahontas by William Deyo. And it's a lot of his research. So right here you can see it. Here's the book talking about, and these are other books that he's written as well. It's not like this is his only book. So other books, he's put a lot of energy into research.
Along with Bill Deyo's work, I would also highly recommend this book, and of the Potawatomi wife of William Redmond and Dr. Richard Bryant, descendants of the fame or fabled KA-OKEE. I hope I pronounced these names correctly. I apologize if I did not. And it goes into a DNA study of the Rolfe descendants and gives a little biography about her. But I would highly recommend buying this book. It's already out, and I'm almost certain part 2 is out because this says part 1, which goes over KA-OKEE, the DNA study that the author did. This is the book I did on the descendants of Pocahontas and Anstead. We use all these lines. These are all done in Photoshop. I did every one of them myself. The numbers with the letter to help you find where they are in the visual, because it can be hard when it's just words with genealogy. Make sure to keep all the sources intact. See, everything deals with sources.
So Thomas Pettis and KA-OKEE, Chief Wahagonochee, Rebecca Pettis, and then you get to Henry Meese, Chief Wahagonochee's daughter Mary. Now he married twice, and then John Ashton married Grace Meese, and Grace married Captain John Ashton. So these were prominent individuals, obviously. And then here's where we get to the lineage. So only Henry Ashton, and then Sarah Ashton would be children of John Ashton and Grace Meese. So in other words, Sarah Ashton and Henry Ashton would be descendants of KA-OKEE and Thomas Pettis. In other words, they'd also be descendants of Pocahontas and KA-OKEE, right? So this is my line right here. Sarah Ashton, Philip Alexander. So anyone coming from Sarah Ashton would also carry the KA-OKEE line with them. And she married more than one time. And these are all of her children. And Elizabeth Alexander married Townshend Dade, and they go all the way down. So did Philip Alexander, married Sarah Huey, or who, I don't know how to say that. And these are all their kids. Now, the Washingtons definitely married into the Dades, as did the Harringtons, the Stewarts, and this is my line, Baldwin Dade, Verlinda Jones. Now, if you want to know more about this specific line of Townshend Dade and Elizabeth Alexander, go to John Frederick Dorman's Adventures of Person. It's a very expensive book, which is okay because it's almost all primary sources, and it's a masterpiece for finding early genealogy. The book I've written on the descendants of Pocahontas and Ann Stith and Robert Bowling, the foundation of that comes from John Frederick Dorman's research. I just extended the generations by, 3, maybe 4. That's all I did to save other people the time. So Baldwin Dade, Verlinda Jones, these are all of their descendants. And then I get to Buckner Stith and Ann Dade. So all of these individuals right here and also here would all be descendants of Thomas Pettis and Rebecca. They would all be descendants of KA-OKEE and Thomas Pettis. And that's the reason for me showing this entire line. So I hope you find this exciting. I'll be glad to share what I find from the book, and I hope you purchase his book as well.